We're here with Register of Deeds, John Buckley. John, big day for you, the official ribbon cutting of the Registry of Deeds on 32 Belmont Street.
Yeah, well, Jay, we've had a satellite Registry of Deeds in Brockton for almost 25 years. But however, the last site was kind of deteriorating, and we're very happy to be in this new location right here in the heart of downtown Brockton on Belmont Street, 32 Belmont Street to be exact, right next to the Superior Court. It's a building that the County Commission has completely gutted and renovated for the Registry of Deeds, and it's going to be our site for as long as I can see forward. So it's a good. We've made two moves since we first set up a satellite, again back in 1994. But this will be our site for the foreseeable future, probably the next 50 years anyways.
Outstanding. How about a tour? Haven't
Sure.
been inside? Let's take a look.
One of the things this new building has that the old building did not is a much better, handy and more accessible handicap ramp. The building over at 155 West Elm Street was kind of falling apart, but this new ramp they built, according to code, is cement, concrete that it'll never be modified, and you can tell from the railings and the angles of the ramp how it meets code, and certainly is going to be much better for people that come in with wheelchairs.
Yeah, and I'm looking at this. I mean, you put a lot of work into this. This whole facade is new.
Yeah, they stripped it to the studs on this side of the building and inside, and it definitely looks a lot better than it did before. It shows off, you know, for downtown Brockton, and for Plymouth County, a much better look.
Absolutely. All right, let's head on in, man.
And as we are required by law, you can see on the front door our hours. Our hours for recording are 8:30 to 4. That's required by law to put that up there. The three commissioners that were involved in the project's name are also on the doors. They'll be all part of the opening ceremony in a few minutes. Chairman Pilata, Sandra Wright, and Commissioner Hanley. Those three commissioners will be here at the program today.
All right. After you, sir.
And as you come in the door, there's a slight entrance into the main lobby here. And this lobby is going to be an access point to other rental space off to the right. But it has 3 closing rooms for the public. People come and conduct real estate closings on site. We do record about 40% of our land records over the internet, but many people do like to come into the building. They can get the deposits recorded, get the book and page number in hand and take it away with them. We have one going on right now in closing room 1. But this lobby will be leading off eventually to the right side of the building, which is going out to bid for rental space.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so going out to bid. How does that process work?
They have to follow a statute and put certain notifications in the central register, advertise in the newspaper, and solicit bids.
One thing I noticed right away when we walked in, it's nice and bright.
Yeah, we took the same color we did from the Registry of Deeds in Plymouth. The yellow is the closest color to parchment paper, the original parchment paper the deeds were recorded on. But with the light and the color, it really makes it look bright.
Yeah, a good amount of space,
and you
too.
can see that there are benches here for people when they come in if they're waiting for their attorneys who are conducting the closing.
How often are those rooms used, John?
Certain times of the month, they're all filled, and sometimes overflow. Early in the month, it's a little bit slower because people wait till the end of the month because you pay less interest when you close near the end of the month, the way the mortgage process works.
Little inside tip for you folks. Right from the Register of Deeds. There you go. All right. Good to know, John.
As we come in here is Commissioner Wright.
Nice to meet
Wright.
you.
Sandra Wright, nice to meet you.
Yep.
Mr. Hanley, good to see you again.
See you.
Thanks for
I'd like
coming.
to
Yeah.
say this is Jay Miller from Rockland Cable Access.
We've actually met before.
I think
Yeah,
we have,
yeah,
right.
yeah. You've been in studio, so
I
yeah.
have, yeah.
How long is hair and makeup for her, by the way? Huh? How
Well,
long is hair and makeup for you?
well,
Nothing, it's like this
if
one
we have to
thing in the
talk
morning, I
about
just-
Sandra, we have to talk about you, Mr.
Yeah.
Manley.
Right,
That's a whole different story. So you must be excited about this.
Very
This is a big day.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you've already been in here. How long have you been in?
From
This is
the
November 13th.
this page right here.
Yep,
Oh, November 13th. Okay, all right.
Each of our locations, we recorded a document. So you can see the document back in 1994. We moved over to the school administration building. You can see the date of April 2001 when we moved over to 155 West Elm Street. And then
I'm
we
in the
moved
way.
over.
I'm in the way of moving back and forth.
Hadn't done our grand opening, but we actually started recording here on November 13th.
So John was telling me that both of you played a key part in making this happen. What was your role in getting this to finally happen?
Well, for me, I mean, it's the delivery of services to the community, number one. Number two, these hardworking ladies over here are working in a decrepit building, and to have a happy employee delivers a better service, right, ladies? Look at the smiles on their faces. That's it.
Safer,
That's
yeah.
it.
And for me, it brings back a lot of memories because I was born and raised in Brockton. You know,
Oh.
so I remember the two-way street here in Main Street, and Rocky Marciano grew up around the corner from me, so it's a real honor to be here and, you know, be part of this for Mr. Buckley.
Oh, so you grew up right around here?
I did, yes.
Oh, all right, all right.
Right down by James Edgar Park.
All right, you can check out, but you can never leave, right?
I know.
All right,
Always
San-
my home. Yep.
Always your home. That's great. That's great. So Greg Hanley, Sandra Wright, doing a great job. John, take us further
So
in.
we have a conference room that I know you guys have seen, from where we have meetings at this end of the county. And Plymouth County is kind of unique in that when the county was developed, it split off from Plymouth Colony, whereas Plymouth was the center of Plymouth Colony. It is the far southeastern most town in Plymouth County. So the fact that we have an office and the ability to meet with people at this end of the county, totally on the other side, northeast of the county, is a great thing. And that's why we originally started the satellite registry in 1994. Once technology developed the ability to record documents, transmit documents over a T1 line, we were able to set up the satellite. And we also later opened one in Rockland. So now our main office is in Plymouth at 50 Aubrey Street. We have a satellite office in Rockland over on Hingham Street. And this is our new location of the Brockton satellite here at 32 Belmont Street.
And you're always on the move, John. You're in Plymouth, you're in Brockton. I didn't know you were in Rockland as well. Do you have regular office hours here?
Well, this is open, normal hours. The only difference with the satellites is because of our staffing issues. It's closed 12 to 1 for lunch. But it's a great convenience for people. Title examiners can come in and do their work, as you can see over there. People can come in and do real estate closings. People sometimes just come to the counter to get a copy of their deed. It's great. Instead of having to drive all the way down to Plymouth, and a lot of people just aren't all that good at doing the internet search.
And for people that aren't familiar, you host a show over at our studio,
We do.
Register's Report, and you're about to hit 100 episodes.
Coming up on number 100.
Wow,
Gotta
that's
figure
one a
out-
month.
Gotta figure out what to do to celebrate that.
Maybe a little confetti.
Yeah,
We'll see.
A little
we'll
something.
see.
We'll
Yeah.
work on that.
We'll work on it.
So we have a little side office here when I'm up this end of the town to meet with people. Nice little fit, very comfortable office. Get some people walking by, say hello.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Right. Never a dull moment, right?
And this is Carolyn Lacey, who is our office manager.
Carolyn, good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
Carolyn's recording what, Carolyn?
I am recording a mortgage for Hingham property.
Any comments on the new space?
It's great to be downtown. It's great to be, it's a much more convenient office, brighter. Yeah, it's just, it's certainly an upgrade from the old
Were
building.
you ever in this building before you came here to work?
No,
Okay,
no.
all
This
right.
was the DA's office, and
Yeah.
no, I never.
Good for you. Good for you. That's good.
Yeah, no,
We're
but
happy to hear
we,
that.
we have a lot of walk-ins. People come and get copies of the deeds, homesteads. We have the 3 closing rooms. So it's great for the community, and I think it's going to be a booster downtown.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
and it's just one piece of that puzzle that will fit. And yeah, no, it's great. We have windows we can see outside, and so no, it's nice. It's like I said, it's certainly an upgrade. That old office served us well, but it was time to move.
And it's all on one floor. We
Yeah.
had problems with the elevators over there over the years, and certainly much better. And this is Kathy Ambrose.
Hi,
Who also
Kathy.
works here regularly. Kathy lives in the nearby town of Abington.
I am an Abington resident as well, Kathy.
Oh, are you? Yeah.
Indeed.
It's a nice
She
commute.
loves Martin's Bakery.
Oh, stay. The best.
They are the best. Yeah. So what do you think? What do you think of the new digs?
Oh, we love it. We absolutely love it. It's nice and bright. And people like it. They're happy when they come in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really good.
You're working
Great
on
change.
an e-recording?
Yep, a property in Hanover
So
being
this,
sold.
there's not a person in here doing the closing. This came in over the internet, and Kathy's reviewing it just like you would a
they
normal
were in front
document
of
at the
me,
counter
yeah.
and deciding what to do, whether to accept it or reject it.
Be recorded. Yeah.
Nice.
That's great.
It's
Yeah, so-
assigned a book and page number, and people can get it back. The submitter gets a copy of it right back in their office.
How many of these do you go through, Kathy?
We probably do like close to 50 a day. Let's say. Yeah. Online. So probably like our online is probably close to 40% now. 35%.
Wow.
Of the recording.
And do you see that trending more and more
Well,
online?
it's a great opportunity for people that are set up to do it and are interested in doing it. And they don't have to drive. They can bring people out to their law office, for the lawyers. It's a great thing for people to go to a lawyer's office. Sometimes it's more convenient than coming here. So it's been a good fit. And we now we recorded land here, which is one side of the registry. And now down in Plymouth, we can e-record land court documents. Land court's a very small segment of the registry that somehow has been adjudicated by a judge over the years for boundary disputes and ownership disputes. But this is a great spot. There are only 2 people here a day. However, the great thing about the Brockton office, it also has a backup server. So if for some reason Plymouth is closed down, we can set up our entire operation here and run it from Brockton.
Oh, nice.
And so we have a storage room in the back that has all the equipment that is still working, but it's been upgraded, that we can roll out and run the registry from here if we had to, if something were to happen in Plymouth.
Well, backup's critical.
Yeah.
And you guys have a good plan. That's
Yeah,
excellent.
business continuity is important.
What do you have back here, John?
So I'll take it as a walk through the room.
Good seeing you, Kathy.
There's a backup server room. Literally millions and millions of land records are kept in this server room. It's temperature and humidity control at 70. You can see we come in every once in a while just to make sure it's everything's right. It has its own split air conditioning system separate from the rest of the building, so it can keep it at this constant temperature all the time to protect the equipment.
And you can't really hear this from the outside.
No, it's a good fit for it.
When did all the work start, John? Renovating.
Probably about 4 months ago. It was a very quick project. When Chairman Pilata gets here, I'll let you describe his goal of doing it very quickly and how it happened. And here, as I mentioned, we have a storage room for our supplies over there to the left. But this room was built to locate all of our necessary computers and screens, that if we were to have to move everyone up here to operate the registry from Brockton, because there was an issue going on in Plymouth, near the nuclear plant, or other possibilities, we'd be able to keep the registry flowing. I can tell you I had a visitor one day when I was in Brockton, the old building, and it was a poor young man in a truck with his wife and his kids, and all the furniture were all inside his moving truck. He was scheduled to close. He had sold his home down in Bristol County, and he was scheduled to buy his new home and move his furniture in that same day. But that was the day a few years ago when the dam was overflowing and they shut down all of Taunton. So the registry had to close, and at the time they didn't have a backup site. So it just shows the importance of how you have to be prepared and ready to, in the unlikely event that you have to reset the operation to this one site.
So the dam break was a learning lesson
It
for
was
you
a
folks.
learning lesson for anybody about business continuity and disaster recovery.
Nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful, that's great.
And we have a nice break room over here. Couple handicap bathrooms.
Yeah, I like the handicap accessibility. It was difficult over at the old place in West Elm. Yeah.
This is the break room, which came out really beautifully.
Nice. Yeah, good space.
Yeah. And I'll bring you over to the recording counter. On this side. Mr. Chairman. Commissioner Pallotta. They asked me a question you could best answer.
Yes.
This is Jay Miller.
Hi.
Commissioner, how you doing?
How are you?
Excellent.
Ian Pallotta. The question was, how long did it take to build this? I know you've been involved with it from the very beginning.
It took us, the construction was approximately 7 weeks.
That's pretty impressive.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We worked pretty hard at it. We scheduled every day. And from start to finish, I think it was 3 months. From the day we told the architect what we wanted, and we immediately had documents put together within 2 weeks, and we were out to bid. So,
The place looks fantastic. Great
you.
job. I mean, if you were in here before,
anyone
you know
that's
the work
been in
that you
here
put into
before
it.
knows that we saved a building that would normally have been trashed. The bones of the building are wonderful, and commissioners take the public trust seriously.
Yeah, great job.
All right, thanks.
Good job. So John, you are now here. We got a great satellite here in Brockton. It's good for the downtown. It's good for the community as a whole. We wish you nothing but the best of luck, and congratulations.
Thank you. And thank you for sharing information with the cable show every month, and we'll have a good celebration for number 100.
Indeed. Again, register to report. Channel 12. Check Channel 12 out for the Register's Report, episode number 100 coming up. You never know who you run into at the Registry of Deeds. I am here with BCA board member Tom Minicello. Most of you know him as the vice chair of Brockton School Committee. Congratulations, Tom, on another year at the helm.
Thank you very much. It's nice to know my fellow school committee people have confidence in me, so that's always a good thing. But in my professional life, I am an attorney, and I practice many days here at the Registry of Deeds in Brockton. And today I was just here by chance recording some documents, and having the registry here in Brockton is a great service to many in the Plymouth County Bar, because if it wasn't here, you'd have to drive all the way down to Plymouth. And in my career, in the early 90s, the registry first came to Brockton as a satellite office, and it was over in the school department. And then it moved over to the registry moved over to the district court on Elm Street. And now it's in this beautiful facility here at the old district attorney's office here on Belmont Street and Cottage Street. So this is wonderful. And just by happenstance, I was the first person at this new registry to record a document. So, so I guess sentimentally, this building now holds sentimental value to me. But it's great working here with the ladies, Carolyn and Kathy. They're so helpful, and they're wonderful to work with. They go above and beyond. All the lawyers who practice here love dealing with this staff. They're excellent. They're professional. They're friendly, and they're extremely knowledgeable. And they bring a great personality to this building and to what we do every day. So
They light this place up, and wow, what a difference, huh? Remember the old district attorney's office? This is incredible.
I think they invested close to $500,000 renovating this with the sale, with the proceeds from the sale of the district, the old district court. So yeah, it's great. It's a great addition to the city, and it's a great service for everyone who needs the services of the Registry of Deeds. Here is where all the records with regard to real estate are kept. So if you purchase a piece of property, your deed gets recorded here, and it goes into the computer system, and your ownership interest is on record for when you go to sell your home later on down the road.
Well, Tom, thanks for the time. Good seeing you again. Again,
All right.
congratulations. Good luck with the school year. And Tom Minicello, thank you.
Take care.
We're gonna get the program started. We have a few people that are on their way, but we know people have a lot of things to do and places to go. So we're gonna start with Dan Pilata, Chairman of the Commission. You're gonna do the welcome.
Welcome. I gotta be brief. I can't tell you how excited we are to be here today. This is something that came at us quick, and really, those of you who understand county government, and most of you in this room do, can really appreciate what local government can do. I know in the city you guys can do things quick. We in the county can do things quick.
Okay.
You can.
Yeah, we can.
Dennis can.
Dennis, are you resigning? Is there something you want to tell us?
No, I'm not going anywhere. Nowhere.
So, this project came at us pretty quick. We had a designer on call. We called the designer. About 3 weeks later, we had a set of plans in hand, and we went to bid. We got a good contractor. We had about 7 weeks of rebuild construction. During the design phase, we had the building demolished, the interior of the building demolished, and we put this together in short order. And the reason I bring that up from a local standpoint in the county is, the previous occupant of this building was the DA, and it took the DA, I think, over a decade. I think it was 14 years, but I know it's over a decade to go through the system at DCAM to get his space and get moved and put everything together. So this just goes to show you the value of county government, that we can do things and we can be a helpful partner, even though we're that middle government that's kicked from the top and kicked from the bottom. We have a value, and this is a good example for the value. We wanted to stay in Brockton. You see a sample of what the facade's going to look like on Belmont Street when the county replenishes its capital funds. So we do things every 2 or 3 years, so in a couple of years you're going to see Belmont Street be done, so that this entire building looks like it should look and be an asset to the city. With that, I'm going to ask Commissioner Wright to come on up and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, and we'll get started.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Please join with me. Mr. Buckley, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
So we at the registry are really happy to have moved to this particular space. When you have a chance to look on the back right side of the building, you can see that the Registry of Deeds has had a satellite office in Brockton for almost 25 years. And this is by far the best location it is built for the work that we do. The city was generous to us back in 1994 when they allowed Mr. Reardon, my predecessor, to bring a satellite registry of deeds into the school administration building. When the Brockton Library moved over to 155 West Elm Street, they gave us an opportunity to go into bigger and better space at the former district court but that became inefficient, and there were problems with the building. I have to say, I did look around for private space, and we looked at the courthouse. I didn't have the faith that Chairman Pilata did, how well they could make this building look. And as you can see, the contractor, the commissioners have done a tremendous job in building this building out. It'll be our registry of deeds for the next 100 years, we say. We won't be here ourselves, but it's a great location in the heart of Brockton, right next to the Superior Court, walkable distance to the District Court, 10 minutes from City Hall, and hopefully will add to the continuation of the redevelopment of downtown Brockton. So speaking of that, I'd love to bring up front the mayor of the city of Brockton, Bill Carpenter. The city was very, very cooperative with all our efforts, trying to get the water pipes and the area and the parking and all the kind of things we needed to do. So our Mayor Bill Carpenter.
Well, good afternoon. It's great to be here. First of all, I want to thank the registrar for his commitment to downtown Brockton, his longtime commitment to Brockton. A true Brocktonian, which maybe I shouldn't say, because I don't think that helps you in the rest of the county, but here in the city it does. But we appreciate your commitment. I want to personally thank the commissioners that made this project possible, and it is so important to the city, not just to keep the satellite office in Brockton, but to bring it downtown is really critical for us. I know we've got Jerry, Michelle here from our state legislative delegation. I want to thank them for their support. The council's well represented, Councilor Sullivan, and I saw Councilor Neary here. And this is, right, State Senator Brady. Sorry, didn't see it behind the council. Just kidding, Dennis. But this truly is great news for the city. From a business standpoint, for the continued accessibility, for attorneys and brokers and buyers and sellers of real estate to be able to conduct transactions at this end of the county instead of the other end of the county, but also to create additional positive activity in the downtown. This is the beginning of what I think is going to be a great 2019 for downtown Brockton. I think this is the first of what's going to be a long string of groundbreakings and ribbon cuttings of projects here in the downtown. You know, we expect about $150 million of new construction in downtown to break ground this year. And this project is just the very first of many, but certainly a critical one. And what makes it work is public-private partnership, because in order for us to get the private capital to invest, we also need public investment. And that's where our legislative delegation comes in and brings state-funded projects down, and the county commissioners and the registrar are bringing a county-funded project here. And the presence of government and private business and market-rate housing all together in downtown builds that downtown with it we're going to really love to live in and be proud of. So thank you to everyone for making the project possible, and thank you, Mr. Registrar.
So clearly, county funding has been important in the building and reconstruction of this building. But for many years, the registry has been the beneficiary of technology funding which always has a sunset provision, and 3 times over the years that sunset has been moved forward so we can continue to get some of the funding that we bring in as registers to increase technology. There are a lot of things within this building that is the result of our technology fund, including our recording equipment. This building will not only be the building that we record current real estate activity, but in the event that there's a disaster in Plymouth, this is our disaster recovery site. This is where we can, business continuity continues here in Brockton in the event that Plymouth shuts down, so that people can continue to do real estate business even in really difficult times. And I want to thank the members of our legislature that have always stepped up when we needed to continue to extend the technology fund. The first member of the legislature to come to the podium, Senator Mike Brady. Come on up, Mike.
Thank you to our Registrar of Deeds, John Buckley, and none of us do this alone. We have a great team. As John mentioned, we have Representative Cassidy, Representative Claire Cronin, and Representative Michelle Dubois. We work together, unlike we may hear at the federal level in other parts of the country. We work very well together with state government, from the governor's office down to our county government, to our local government, with the mayor and the city council in Brockton, all working together. And this has been a long effort to move the DA's office out of this existing facility, working together to keep them in the downtown location, which makes sense because the two courthouses are within a stone's throw from each other, but also to keep the Register of Deeds office downtown for our constituency. And that's the bottom line, to take care of our constituents, to make sure that it's more accessible for them, handicap accessibility, close proximity to City Hall, and all of the above. And thank you to all of the people in our building superintendents who take care of this building. What a difference this building has turned out from what it was when the DA's office was here. At one point, it was in such poor condition that we were thinking of tearing it down. And thank God they were able to renovate it and get the job done. It's a beautiful, it's almost like a brand-new building, and good for our employees to be able to have a good place to work as well. But I want to thank Register of Deeds John Buckley for all the work he does, taking care of, as I mentioned, constituents, but helping people with their mortgage situations and all the above. And we're fortunate in Massachusetts that all of us are working together as a team. Just like I don't like to use a cliche with my cousin Tom Brady, but he doesn't win with the Patriots alone. He has a great team behind him. And we have a great team from the state government, from the governor's office, our county government, our local government. So we have a great team working together. I'm just part of being honored part of this team to get it done together. Thank you.
Great. We have two of the three of our state representative delegation. I'd like to call Jerry Cassidy and Michelle Dubois up here, just to say a quick hello.
I'll just stand next to you, Jerry.
Yeah.
You can do the talking, since it's
Yeah,
your
that's right. This is
district.
Mike.
I'm honored
Mike,
to be
welcome,
here.
welcome to the, no, this is Mike.
It is your
Welcome to the heart of
district,
Brockton, my district. And sorry, Mr. Mayor, but he's not a true Brocktonian.
One time
No, I love John. John's one of my good and dear friends. I just had to sing it a little. But I remember just over 3 years ago, we were here, the state delegation, Michelle, Claire, and Mike, and I were talking to the DA about moving. And thank goodness it had been happening for 14 years. Tom Kennedy was the one who started it years ago. But 3 years ago, we were lucky enough to get it in the budget. We got $1.3 million and to move the DA's office down the street here. And that's been great, and they're very happy down there. And I know you're going to be very happy here, being right here on Belmont Street, which is, the gateway to Plymouth County, which is really great for Brockton. And I just want to say congratulations and good job on the paint job.
I just want to say congratulations to Jerry, and thanks for all his hard work advocating for his district and delivering funds to improve it. Thank you.
Thanks, Bridget. Thank you. So we had Moises Rodriguez, the new president of the council, coming. Has he arrived yet? So Bob, could I call you up? Bob is the member of the Plymouth County Advisory Board for Brockton. He actually goes through all the budget meetings with us.
I do.
Sometimes easy, sometimes not so easy.
Thank you, John. Thank you. Well, first of all, the last time I was here with Tim Cruz, the DA, there was a bucket right there catching water from the roof, and there was a bucket over there. So I want to thank, first of all, the county commissioners, county treasurer, Tom O'Brien, and more importantly, John Buckley. John is, without question, he and his staff, we have the greatest staff around in the county, but without question, if you go around the Commonwealth to the different registry of deeds, this is number one. I mean, it's top of the echelon. If you go down to Plymouth, what they've done down there, it's a museum of really the history of Plymouth. But I just want to congratulate John and the assistant registrar for staying here in the City of Champions, staying in Brockton. They don't need to be here. But as an attorney, first of all, it's a convenience. But when you can come to a place like this and have wonderful staff and you have the computers and you can record online, that's a win-win for everybody. So thank you for what you do. Thank you for being here on behalf of the Dean of the Council, Dennis Ianieri, and all the councilors, and my former colleague Shana Barnes back there. Thank you, and we look forward to just many, many years here, John. Thank you. Thank you.
So speaking of wonderful staff, before I bring Commissioner Handley up
Councilman
here.
Castro's here as well, John. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
yes. Carolyn Lacey is our office manager, and Kathy Ambrose is here working with her just about every day. And I will say, I mean, we have our main office in Plymouth, our satellite in Rockland over in Hingham Street, and a site in Brockton. And Brockton's more challenging. You have a lot more language issues, people that come in that don't know what they're asking for sometimes, and they just do a tremendous job helping people out. Having a ability to come in and just say, look, I'm not sure what I'm asking for, and it's not just here, everywhere. I was told by my lawyer to come and get a copy of my deed. Is that what it's called? That's what. But they figure it out. They help people out, and they usually go out of here a lot better equipped than they are when they come in here. But to introduce the other elected officials, I'd like to bring up Commissioner Greg Hanley.
Thank you, John. It's a distinct honor and privilege to be given this part of the ceremony because I'm the end, right? I'll try to make it as quick, but I'm introducing everyone in the room, so I'll start in no particular order. Senator Brady is here with us, Representative Cassidy and Representative Dubois are with us. Representative Cronin, Senator regrets couldn't make it with us. We have Councilors Ianieri, Sullivan, and Castro. The mayor's here of our wonderful city. We have my colleagues in government. And before if you allow me to digress for a minute, I've been elected 19 years. And 6 years ago, I became a county commissioner when the county was in disarray. And those folks that are in this room right here are the ones that have made it possible because we've been able to work together to restore the faith and confidence of the county with our delegation. And when you do that and you work collegially and you can get together on projects, this is the result of it. And so, along with great leadership. So on the county level, we have the chairman, Dan Pilata here is with me, and my colleague Sandra Wright. And I serve as the guy who cleans up after them. Treasurer O'Brien is with us today. We have also the Register of Probate is here, Matt McDonough. We have Tim White, who's the Deputy Register. Who else? Let me look around the room. Who am I missing? Chris Cooney from the Chamber. It's good to see, as the Mayor said, public and private partnership and having folks support what's going on here. We are going to be looking for some facade improvements, is that right, Mr. Chairman? And when we get the Chamber on board with the delegation, maybe we can get a budget item. Last but not least, it takes great leadership, and our Register, bar none, is the best in the business. And I want to echo the same sentiments. These girls right here, you see the bricks and mortar, you see how well it can look. But these people make it work, and they make people leave the building with a smile on their face, saying that they're here and we're providing services. Last but not least, Shana, I want to leave it to the end because you're representing a congressman, but you're always so elegant and gracious. It's good to see you back out of the witness protection program, right back here in Brockton. So thank you, folks, and thanks for coming.
So thank you all for coming. Clearly, when you do a project like this, there's a lot of parts to it. The architects, the contractors, Bob Malley, who helped us work out our parking situation around the building, all those kind of things make a big difference in making this a place that people want to come to, feel comfortable coming to, feel safe coming to. And we, again, are very appreciative as the people that work at the registry for having such a great place to work. So thank you all very much for everything you've done.
Where's Greg? 1, 2, 3.
Good job.
I knew you were next to me.
All right, yeah,